In this video, we will talking about VDI vGPU POC Guides. To use the vGPU, it is required to deploy the NVIDIA licensing server. First, download the license server VMA from Sangfor community. Second, import the VMA to Sangfor VMP. Third, configure a static IP address for the NVIDIA license server. Next, get the MAC address of the license server, then request POC license from Sangfor team. After getting the license file, import it to the license server. Lastly, ensure the license server can detect and display the license detail. In order to deploy the NVIDIA license server, we need to download the license server from Sangfor community. Go to Self-Services. Download VDI. The license server will not keep updating as the VDI new version release. It can be reused between different VDI version. Go to the version 5.3.8 and download the vGPU authorized server. After the downloading is complete, log in to VMP, select New and click Import Virtual Machine. Upload the license server VMA template. Select the proper VM group. Ensure it is connected to a correct switch and able to access the internet. Then, click Import. The import process might take some time depending on the bandwidth. The license server imported successfully. Next, we need to configure a static IP address to the server. Power on the license server and go to the VM console. Log into the server using default password vGPU123. Select Applications, Settings, Network Connections. Edit the ETH0. Go to IPv4 setting. Change the method from DHCP to manual. Assign a valid IP address and reachable gateway address. Configure a public or internal DNS server. Click Save to save the configuration. Next, restart the server to ensure the IP configuration takes effect. After the server is restarted, you can open the Firefox browser to manage the license server. By default, it will redirect to the NVIDIA Web UI with port 8080. Rather than log into the server console, there is another more convenient way, which is open a browser and access the server IP address with port 8080. For example, HTTP 192.168.19.247 with port 8080/LIC server. Go to Configuration. At the Server Host ID section, it will show the server MAC address. In this step, you need to send an email with the MAC address to the Sangfor team to apply for the NVIDIA POC license. After you got the license file, it is required to import it to the server. Go to License Management. Select the license file and click Upload. License applied successfully. To check the license, you can go to Licensed Feature Usage. The applied license will be displayed in the panel. It will show the total available license and expiry date. After deploying the license server, we need to deploy virtual machines with corresponding graphic card. First, create a virtual machines with agent installed. Second, add a graphic card model to the VM. Third, use remote desktop, PC client, or thin client to access the VM. Next, install the corresponding graphic driver downloaded from Sangfor community. After installing the graphic driver, make sure the driver is working fine. Lastly, convert the VM to a template VM and then deploy more VM. Prepare a virtual machine which already installed an agent. Go to More. Edit. Add a hardware graphic card to the VM. Select a graphic card model. Click OK. Next, power on the VM. After adding a graphic card, the VMP will unable to display the 3D VM console. In this video, I will use Remote Desktop to access the VM for further configuration. Open Remote Desktop, enter the VM IP address, username and password. Click OK. After login to the VM, go to the Sangfor community to download the graphic card driver. Go to Self-Services. Download VDI. Download the graphic card driver according to the VDI version. After downloading is complete, extract the zip file. Open the driver folder. Install the graphic driver based on the Windows version and bit. Click Agree and Continue. Click Next and the installation will start. Restart the VM to ensure the installation complete. Open Device Manager. Ensure the NVIDIA Grid driver is detected. Right-click on the desktop and select NVIDIA Control Panel. Go to Manage License. Enter the license server IP address and port number 7070. Click Apply. The VM acquiring license success. In the end of this tutorial, there are several precautions will be listed below. VMP console is not able to view 3D desktop screen. The time of VMP and VM must be same as the license server. The port 7070 must be available between the VM to the license server.